People are tired of the status quo.
Who are you gonna vote for?
Definitely not this guy.
You know your money got him elected last time.
I didn't give that guy a dime.
Yeah, you did. Our union gave him a big chunk of your dues money.
Well, that commercial by the Center for Union Facts casting a spotlight on a push by Republicans to reduce the control that unions have over their members. The bill is called the Employers' Rights Act, and one of the things it would do is give workers the right to stop unions from using their dues to support political candidates that they might not like. Union supporters call it union busting. Let's ask Richard Brodsky. He's a senior fellow at the liberal organization Demos. Good to see you again, Richard.
Nice to be back.
So is it union? I mean, why shouldn't union members be able to opt out of supporting political candidates they don't like?
There's a federal law on the books today that says you can't use union dues to support federal candidates. What they're talking about is the result of the Citizens United case and super PACs. And you know what? You're right. Let's get rid of that for everybody. But if you're going to take the position that union members can say no, what about stockholders?
But Richard, it goes back even before that. The super PACs really started back with McCain-Feingold. Remember the 527s? It was McCain-Feingold that gave light to the super PACs.
I give you that. But if you're talking about making sure that people's money isn't used in ways they don't want, one, it's already illegal for straight candidate contributions. And two, if you're going to take a principled position, why don't you say the same thing about stockholders of corporations?
So you don't believe, as the Supreme Court does, that money and spending your money is free speech?
No, I do not. And I don't believe that.
That's a pretty important distinction.
I don't believe corporations are people. Management is the one making the decision.
Well, I don't believe that unions are people either.
I don't either.
Management and unions.
We're in agreement. The point of it is that to pick on just the one side of this, it's union busting.
See, Richard,
that's okay.
The one point we do agree on that they're sort of an equal partial here of the corporations and the union guys. But the fact is that the more laws that are created by the folks inside the Beltway to try to stop all these super PACs and all the kinds of money for things that people don't want always makes things worse. McCain-Feingold was supposed to make things better. It's more complicated. Sarbanes-Oxley was supposed to make things better. It led to a lot of problems. We now have Dodd-Frank. I mean, let's stop with the rules. Just have full disclosure.
I'm not here
How about
to
just full disclosure?
I'm not here to defend the Congress. What I'm here to say is if you're going to pick on one side of this issue and not on the other, then you're not really taking a principled position. I don't think this group has taken a principled position. If we're going to protect the rights of workers, let's protect the rights of stockholders. If we're not going to do both, let's not do either.
But you have to start somewhere. I mean, they're interested, their focus is on what unions are doing, and a lot of what unions are doing they disagree with. By the way, it's not just spending money on politicians they might not agree with. It's forcing individuals to become members of unions, even if they don't want to become members of the unions. There's too much of that going on, too, right?
That's right-to-work stuff. Unions should be allowed to be compensated for the representational work they do, even for people who aren't members.
Well, look at this. Sally Coomer, here's a woman who takes care of her daughter, full-time care of her daughter. She didn't want to become a member of the union, but here's a soundbite of what she says about this.
We are in a sad state of affairs when as a parent, you are forced to be a union member and pay union dues to care for your own adult child with disabilities, especially knowing that your dues are going to political causes that are detrimental to the very funding that your adult child depends on.
Yeah, now that's not right. She shouldn't have to be a member of a union, right?
I'm a great admirer of the sacrifice that family is making. The reason they're getting as much as they're getting from the state is because the union stood up for those families when management wouldn't. Look, this is about protecting average families. Average families do better when there are unions around to protect them.
Not necessarily. She didn't think so. I think she's capable of making that decision
She's
herself.
entitled to her opinion. I'm entitled to mine. The bottom line is that she is doing as well as she's doing in protecting her family because the union went out and got her more support.
But Richard, there is
a
reason why union membership in the private sector has continually gone down. It's now below 7% in the private sector.
There is a reason. Part of that is things unions are doing that are not smart and are not good. I'm not protecting everything a union ever did, but collective bargaining made the American middle class. The unions made the American middle class. I'm not walking away from the American middle class.
I'll give you the last word because you're a nice guy. Richard Brodsky, good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate what President Obama